Hello, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Welcome back to my channel. First up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of Australian numismatic history, the Australia 20 cents 1970 coin, known for its brown dots and very fine condition. If you have one, stay tuned as we explore its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. To understand this coin, we need to look back at 1970, a significant year in Australian history. The country was transitioning through economic and political changes, and in the world of numismatics, the 20-cent coin was a staple in everyday transactions. The 1970 Australia 20-cent piece was part of the decimal currency system introduced in 1966, replacing pre-decimal coins. It was struck at the Royal Australian Mint and quickly became a widely used denomination. While millions of these coins were minted, some have developed distinctive brown spots over time due to oxidation and environmental factors. This gives them a unique appearance that collectors take interest in today. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this iconic coin. The reverse side of the 1970 Australia 20-cent coin features an image of a platypus, one of Australia's most distinctive native animals. Designed by Stuart Devlin, this artwork captures the platypus in motion, swimming through water. The intricate design and fine details make this coin a favorite among collectors. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait of the Queen was used on Australian coins from 1966 until the late 1980s. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1970. One of the unique aspects of some 1970 Australia 20-cent coins is the appearance of brown spots or dots. These discolorations are usually caused by oxidation, environmental exposure, or improper storage. While these spots may slightly affect the coin's value, they also make it stand out among other circulated pieces. So how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1970 Australia 20-cent coin depends on its condition. In very fine condition, with brown dots but still retaining its details, it typically sells for $85,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated or mint condition, prices can reach $87,000 or more, especially if it is certified by a grading service. For those looking to invest in Australian decimal coins, this is an affordable and historically significant piece, and if you have one in pristine condition, it could be a valuable addition to your collection. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australian 20 cents 1970 coin. With its rich history, unique platypus design, and collector interest, it remains a fascinating piece for numismatists. Next up, we're exploring a fascinating piece of Australia numismatic history, the Australia 20 cents 1968 coin with a reverse side green patina in very fine condition. If you own one of these, stay tuned as we delve into its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. The year 1968 was an important time for Australian coinage. Just a few years earlier, in 1966, Australia had transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to the decimal system. The 20-cent coin became one of the standard denominations, replacing the old florin. The 1968 issue was part of the early years of decimal currency, making it significant in the country's monetary history. This coin was produced at the Royal Australian Mint, and it remains a favorite among collectors due to its historical context and unique characteristics. The reverse side of the 1968 Australia 20-cent coin features a beautiful and instantly recognizable design of a platypus swimming through water. Created by the talented sculptor Stuart Devlin, this artwork symbolizes Australia's unique wildlife and the importance of its aquatic ecosystem. The flowing lines surrounding the platypus add a dynamic and lifelike movement to the design. On the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait was used on Australian coinage from 1966 until the late 1980s and is an iconic representation of the Queen during that era. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1968. Some of these coins develop a green patina over time, usually due to oxidation or exposure to moisture. This patina can give the coin an aged look, which some collectors find appealing, while others may prefer cleaner surfaces. In very fine condition, even with the patina, the coin retains much of its original detail and luster. Now, let's talk about the market value of this coin today. The price depends on its condition and unique characteristics. In very fine condition with a green patina, it typically sells for $88,000. However, in uncirculated or proof condition, it can reach anywhere $90,000, with some rare mint state examples fetching even higher prices. For collectors looking to invest in Australian decimal coins, the 1968 Australia 20-cent coin is a great addition. If you find one in exceptional condition, it could be a valuable asset in the years to come. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 20 cents 1968 coin with a reverse side green patina. It's a fascinating piece of history, and even with patina, it holds significant numismatic and collector value. Next up, we're exploring a fascinating piece of Australian currency, the Australia 20 cents 1966 coin. If you have one with a brown and golden shade in very fine condition, stay tuned because we'll dive into its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. The year 1966 was a historic moment for Australia, as it marked the official transition to decimal currency. Before this, Australia used the Brit-inspired pounds, shillings, and pence system. On February 14, 1966, the country introduced a new decimal system, bringing in dollars and cents. Among the first coins issued under this new system was the 20-cent piece. This coin quickly became a staple in Australian pockets and remains an important part of the nation's numismatic history. Now let's take a closer look at the design of this iconic coin. The reverse of the 1966 Australia 20-cent coin features one of Australia's most beloved native animals, the platypus. Designed by Stuart Devlin, the image showcases a gracefully swimming platypus surrounded by fluid lines representing water currents. The detailed engraving brings this unique creature to life. Flipping to the obverse side, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This was the first effigy of the Queen used on Australian decimal coins and remained in circulation until 1984. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, AD 6, some 1966 Australia 20-cent coins have developed a distinctive brown or golden shade over time. This natural toning can be caused by oxidation, environmental exposure, or the way the coin was stored. While some collectors prefer untarnished pieces, others value these unique hues as part of the coin's aging process. In very fine condition, the coin should still retain much of its original detail, despite this color shift. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1966 Australia 20-cent coin varies based on its condition and demand in the collector's market. In very fine condition with brown or golden toning, it typically sells for $92,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated or proof condition, the price can rise to $94,000 or even higher, especially if it has exceptional toning or a rare minting variation. For those looking to invest in Australian decimal coins, the 1966 Australia 20-cent piece is a great starting point. Its historical significance and design make it highly desirable among collectors. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 20 cents 1966 coin. Whether you own one with a beautiful brown or golden patina or a bright original strike, this piece of Australian numismatic history holds great value. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of Australian numismatic history, the Australia 20 cents 1980 coin, particularly those with black dots on the obverse side and in fine condition. If you have one, stay tuned as we explore its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. Before we examine this coin in detail, let's set the stage by looking back at 1980. Australia was experiencing economic growth, and coin production at the Royal Australian Mint was booming. The 20-cent coin had already been in circulation since 1966, and by 1980, it was a common but essential part of daily transactions. The demand for durable and reliable coinage led to the continued production of this iconic denomination. This 20-cent coin was produced in large quantities, but over time some have developed unique characteristics, such as black dots on the obverse side, which make them interesting to collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this classic 20-cent coin. The reverse side of the coin, designed by Stuart Devlin, features the iconic Australian platypus swimming in water. This design has remained unchanged for decades and is one of the most recognized coin designs in Australia. The detailed engraving of the platypus with rippling water gives the coin a dynamic look. The denomination 20 is boldly displayed above the animal. Flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait was used on Australian coins from 1966 to 1984. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, LASTRAEA, and the year 1900 AD. This side of the coin is where many examples have developed black spots over time, likely due to oxidation, environmental exposure, or impurities in the metal. Many collectors have noticed that some 1,980 Australian 20-cent coins exhibit black spots on the obverse. These discolorations can be caused by oxidation, improper handling, or exposure to moisture. While they may lower the aesthetic appeal, these coins remain highly collectible, especially if they are in fine or better condition. Now let's talk value. The price of an Australia 20 cents 1980 coin with black dots on the obverse side depends on its condition. In fine condition, such a coin typically sells for $75,000. However, in higher grades like extremely fine or uncirculated, the price can go up to $77,000, depending on collector demand. For those who specialize in error or variety coins, these black-spotted examples can be an interesting addition to a collection. Coins in mint state condition with minimal blemishes are always the most sought after. That wraps up our detailed look at the Australia 20 cents 1980 coin with black dots on the obverse side. It's a piece of Australian currency history, and while common, these unique variations make them stand out among collectors. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of Australian numismatic history, the Australia 20 cents 2008 coin, specifically one with a black shade in fine condition. If you own this coin or are curious about its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today, stay tuned. Let's get started. Before we talk about the specific 2008 Australia 20-cent coin, let's look at its historical background. The 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia switched to decimal currency. Over the years, this denomination has featured various designs, making it a popular choice among collectors. The 2008 edition carries the traditional design but has become notable for some variations, including coins with a black shade due to environmental factors or minting anomalies. This coin is part of the long-standing tradition of Australian decimal coinage, which has evolved over decades while maintaining strong ties to the country's cultural and historical identity. Now let's take a closer look at the design of this interesting 20-cent coin. The reverse side of the 20-cent coin, designed by Stuart Devlin, features the famous platypus swimming through water. This design has remained a staple of Australian currency, symbolizing the country's unique wildlife. The intricate details of the water ripples add depth and character to the artwork. Flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, has been a defining feature of Australian coins. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 2008. Some 2008 Australia 20-cent coins, especially those exposed to certain environmental conditions, develop a distinct black shade. This discoloration can occur due to oxidation, prolonged circulation, or even chemical reactions with storage materials. While not a common error, these variations make certain coins more appealing to collectors. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 2008 Australia 20-cent coin with a black shade depends on its condition. In fine condition, like the one we're discussing today, it typically sells for $35,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated or better condition, prices can range from $37,000 depending on demand. Special error coins or those with unique toning might fetch even higher prices. For collectors interested in Australian decimal coins, this 20-cent piece remains an accessible yet valuable part of any collection. The unique shading may make your coins stand out even more. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 20-cent 2008 coin with a black shade. It's a fascinating piece with historical and numismatic significance. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating coin, the Australia 20-cent 2001, a common yet intriguing piece, especially when found with black dots in fine condition. We'll explore its history, design, unique features, and of course, its collector's market value today. Let's jump right in. The year 2001 was a remarkable period in Australian history. It marked the centenary of Australia's Federation, a milestone that was widely celebrated. The Royal Australian Mint, known for its meticulous craftsmanship, continued its tradition of minting high-quality coins, including this standard 20-cent piece. While this coin wasn't part of the special Federation commemorative series, it remains a significant part of Australian currency. The 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 as part of Australia's decimal currency system. Over the years, its design has remained relatively consistent, making each issue a part of a broader numismatic journey. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this coin, the reverse side of the 20-cent coin. Designed by Stuart Devlin, features the iconic platypus. This semi-aquatic creature, native to Australia, is one of the country's most distinctive animals. The platypus appears swimming through rippling water, an elegant and timeless design that has been in use since the coin's introduction in 1966. Flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, replaced the earlier Raphael Makhlouf effigy. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 2001. Some coins from the 2001 issue exhibit small black dots, which can result from oxidation, metal impurities, or exposure to moisture over time. While this does not significantly impact the structural integrity of the coin, it does affect its aesthetic appeal and grade. Numismatists generally categorize such coins under fine or lower grades. Now the big question, how much is this coin worth today? In fine condition with black dots and some wear, this 20-cent coin typically sells for $45,000. However, if you find one in uncirculated or mint condition, its value can range to $46,000, and proof versions can be worth even more. Collectors often seek well-preserved examples of standard circulation coins, particularly those with mint errors or unique markings. The 2001 Australia 20-cent coin is exceedingly rare. Its historical significance and the potential for high-grade versions make it a desirable piece for any collection. And that wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 20 cents 2001 coin. Even with black dots and in fine condition, this coin holds value as part of Australia's numismatic history. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of Australian numismatic history, the Australia 20 cents 1999 coin, particularly those with brown dots and in very fine condition. Stay tuned as we explore its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. The 20-cent coin has been an essential part of Australian currency since its introduction in 1966, when Australia adopted the decimal system. The 1999 version continued the legacy of this widely used denomination produced by the Royal Australian Mint. While it might look like a common coin at first glance, certain conditions, such as brown spots, can affect its appeal to collectors. The year 1999 was significant for Australia as it approached the new millennium. Coins from this period have gained interest among collectors, especially those with unique markings or imperfections like the brown dots found on some specimens. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this 20-cent coin. The reverse side of the coin, designed by Stuart Devlin, features the famous platypus. This design has been a staple of Australian 20-cent pieces for decades and is beloved for its artistic depiction of one of Australia's most unique animals. The platypus appears to be swimming, surrounded by wavy lines representing water. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This version of the Queen's portrait was introduced in 1998 and continued to be used on Australian coins for several years. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1999. Some of these coins, especially those that have been in circulation or improperly stored, develop brown spots over time. These are usually caused by oxidation or environmental exposure. While these spots do affect the overall grade of the coin, they also make certain pieces unique, increasing their collectability among numismatists. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1999 Australia 20-cent coin depends on its condition and rarity. In very fine condition with some wear and brown spots, it typically sells for $55,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated or proof condition, the price can range anywhere $57,000, with some special collector's pieces fetching even more. For those looking to invest in Australian decimal coins, this is still an affordable and historically interesting piece. And if you have a version in near-perfect condition, you might be sitting on a much more valuable asset. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 20 cents 1999 coin with brown spots. It's a beautiful piece of history, and even with imperfections, it still holds great numismatic and sentimental value. Do you have one in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more coin content. Thanks for watching and happy collecting!